This is Anna Emenden with the Healing Garden. And for those of you who are not familiar with my work, I am a philosopher, psychologist, and sociologist of 30 years, just to name a few subjects that I've studied. And it has been a very long road for me to get here. I started studying psychology, philosophy, everything that I studied, because I was a domesticated slave. And the only enslavement and abuse that I endured was completely done at the hands of ignorance. It was a bunch of mindless followers, sheep, just mindlessly copying behavior. People like to imagine that I had these massive, big, brutal abusers, and I didn't. That's the truth of it. No one maliciously really hurt me. It was just psychological, mental illness, projection, narcissism, parents trying to be good parents and didn't have a clue. A lot of people repeating other people's behavior. So someone projected, and then that person projected that projection, and then that person projected that projection, projected that projection. It was one of those. I had 4 owners. One of them literally kept me in chains. So when I say I've come a long way and I escaped, and I did so only because I studied a shit ton of topics, I meant it. They were convinced that a woman was not allowed to attend college. So that was the lesson they drilled into my head for the first 16 years of my life. And at 16 and 17, when the times changed, so did the lesson. Instantly it was, oh, now you have to go to college. But they had already spent 15, 16 years drilling other lessons into me. So when I repeated the first 15 years of their lessons back at them, the abuse got worse. When I finally walked away from it all, I had so many mental illnesses, I couldn't function at all. I could not get a job. I could not keep a job. And the only ones who could take care of me, would take care of me, were the abusive people who owned me, who deliberately kept me too mentally ill to function, and then deliberately made sure that I did not work a job so that I would stay financially crippled, who ensured that I did not get a driver's license because the rates would go up, who also ensured that I not attend a college because who would look after the kids? So by the time I was 40, and my second owner had put me through an abortion I didn't consent to, and my 4th owner had put me through 3 IVFs and a surgery to get me to breed because my biological kids weren't good enough for him. He threw me out and told me that he needed to find a new mother to breed. That is how I ended up at age 40, unmarried, incapable of working a job, incapable of getting hired for something that my brain could actually be entertained with because of all the schooling that I did for myself. In secret, for the most part, because books were not allowed, and I was not allowed to be smart. The system, the patriarchy, white supremacy, used me, abused me, decapitated my intelligence, made me completely incompetent to function in the patriarchy and the system, and then threw me away when I was done. So when I say I'm the voice of feminism, I mean it. When I say I have a serious vendetta against the patriarchy. I mean it. So when I say that there is absolutely no one more qualified to say, fuck that system, I'm going to create my own, I mean it. Now, this is the best part. The best part is what I found. I did not just study sociology, philosophy, and psychology. I studied everything except the hard sciences. I studied history, mythologies. I studied early man anthropology, Romanology, the rise and fall of the Christian Empire. I studied everything. I studied music theory, physics. I studied the psychology of society. I studied the psychology of eons. And then I studied the psychology of animals. And then I started to notice at the end of it that all the subjects in all the world are supposed to be combined like a giant cocktail. But they weren't. And when these subjects merge, there is a new subject that is born. That subject is perspective. And that is the subject that I studied and mastered. The study of perspective allows you to see angles and points of views from all the sides. And this is the message that I have been trying to get to the people. But it was so extraordinary. How can you even articulate it? There wasn't a language even for most of the stuff that I was examining and learning. I had to invent my language just so I could articulate what I was looking at. Things like invasive perspectives or a perspective gap, an emotional prosthetic, nurturers and providers. I had to create an entirely new language just to communicate the new world I was seeing and the webbing of how well it's interwoven. And I don't even know how to articulate the intricate weaving yet. When I was switching altars on purpose to examine all perspectives of my subconscious mind, I discovered the subject, and then I used it to cure my multiple personality disorder, and then my borderline personality disorder, and PTSD, all of it, systematically. Once you were able to see a perspective shift, because you're able to switch with the altars, but it wasn't the altars alone, it was the combination of all the course material that I had studied with my multiple personality disorder that I was able to use all of my information and knowledge based off of the theory that I invented with the Rorschach print perspective in 2002. When I combined that information and then I used it on my altars, my 4 personalities to switch around inside my own subconscious mind, I could see precisely where in the subconscious mind mental illness began and where it went away. This is what I refer to as triadic healing, because I could see all the parts of the identity, because I could shift perspectives inside of my head on a programmed, intentional emotional trigger. It was extraordinary. It did not stop at the mind. I could see everything, and it changes the world. I can see all the possibilities, all the outcomes, all the variables, and I can see what we can become. I can see all the steps to get us there, except one single step in front of me right now. The next step, I can't see it. I can see everything else. I can almost reach out and touch it, except this one step. I'm stuck. I am absolutely at the end of a maze, and I just cannot find the door. And now all the things that I could see over the last year are starting to happen. And I had no language skills to communicate any of this to anyone, because I did all of this while I was at the height of me clearing up my mental illness with perspective psychology. And I had to do all of this without scaring anyone. And I have the story to fuel the heart of a feminist and an activist. But Booker T. Washington, Abigail Adams, Gandhi. If I do this, it must be with pacifism and education. So yeah, I feel a little pressure to change the world. And I can see exactly how to do it. And I can see precisely what will become of it. And it is so worth it, if only I can find the door. So that is what I'm doing here. I'm looking for a door. Once that door opens, this is what I see. I see community coming together. Everyone saying, I've had enough. These are my resources. What do you need? Who needs what? And we come together as if we have no FEMA, as if we are in an emergency situation ourselves. And I see us all just as neighbors coming together. One person first stepping up saying, look, I know how to build a society. It's my mastery. It's one of the things I got down. I know how to do it. I know all the elements of a working society, how to build it, how to manage and govern a people. I know what exactly is going on inside the subconscious mind with a person, a town, a community, a society, a city, a country, a world. Because I've seen it. I can see the passing of time. Perspective. So I know exactly how everyone is going to move. Like I am looking at the chessboard going, all right, I know that if I move this here, everyone's going to move exactly accordingly. So I can just move and shift and dance. So we're going to pool resources. All of them, as many as we can, whatever you don't need. Do you have an extra room? Do you have an extra whatever? What do you have to help out? We're forming a community. We're engaging. You have a mental problem? I have the solution. I used it on myself. It's working. It's extraordinary. We're going to start with our mental health. That's where I always start, because mental health is, well, this is the funny thing. When you have a society, your society and your system only functions as well as the mental health of the society, because mental health will crumble everything. Mental health is completely dependent upon your education. So I would target people who are only what I refer to as 6 perspective or higher. The best part is these are what I like to call magical adults. 6 perspective and higher are pretty much anyone who's listening to this video right now, because anyone less than a 6 perspective would go, this is a bunch of crap, and they would delete it. Pretty cool, huh? So just by this video existing, it is psychologically weeding out the wrong people while attracting the right people. There, stage 1 is complete. Now, so we have 6 perspective. These are what I like to refer to as magical adults. Now, magical adults are going to come in 2 ways. They're going to either need mental help, or they're probably going to want to help others, which is fantastic. If they need mental help, we will be giving them triadic healing. And if you want to learn how to do that, we'll also be doing that as well. Now, once we get them triadic healing and they start to heal, they'll be able to basically integrate into the system. Now, this is a system that is 100% free. It's optional. You can come, you can go, you can dabble, you can completely submerge yourself. How much you get involved is 100% up to you, because this is freedom, 100%. Now, it's a mindset. All society is actually a mindset. And if we're all walking around talking about authenticity and mindset and picking out who we want to be, I'm sitting here going, sociology, can we apply this to the society as well? Because I don't know about you, but when I healed, I found out how absolutely useless that system then became. Did anyone else notice this? That as soon as you healed, you suddenly couldn't function in their wonderland. I know why. I can explain that to you. So the reason why is because they run with an illogical system, because it's all fueled off of lies that are over 2,000 years old, that wove a massive illogical web of deceit, and it's starting to fall apart because it's 2,000 years old. Now that you are healed and you can figure shit out because you're logical, healing is actually just removing the logical fallacies. Once you do that, you have the ability to step back from it all, look at it and go, oh my God, that is so crazy. And you can't be part of it anymore. So we're all just kind of going, yep, this is deemed crazy. Well, now what do I do? Answer. You come to Authenticity City. That's what you do. Because we'll take you in. We get you. We're all healed here. This is radical collaboration. That's what this is. So I am calling you all to me, saying here, first, you are welcome. As in, please come in, make yourself at home. Find respite, find shelter, find a warm hug. This is what I like to psychologically call unconditional belonging. Now, you guys are all familiar with conditional belonging, another word I made up to explain all of this stuff for you. Conditional love, we all know that. Loving on conditions. Our parents did it a lot to us. Other people did it a lot to us. If you had great parents who actually gave you unconditional love, fantastic. But there's also conditional belonging and unconditional belonging. What most of us are familiar with, in fact, all of us, that's why we're all here, is because we have nowhere else to go. Because we have unconditional belonging here, out there, growing up. Conditional belonging was, if you don't do X, you need to find another place to live. Well, I'm paying your bills, I own you. It's that stuff. That's conditional belonging. It literally threatens your livelihood, your safety, your security, and your survival. So we had to choose between who we are and our authenticity and survival. In some cases, as early as 2, 3, 4 years old. So yeah, you grew up without a place to belong. You felt like you never were home. That's because you had conditional belonging put on you. So we don't have that here. It's unconditional belonging. We welcome you and we give you respite. You owe us nothing. We give you love, warmth, encouragement, support. We are looking and wanting anyone who can give you a huge pat on the back, cheer you on, pick you up. Everyone here is an elevator person as soon as you walk in the door. After that, you'll be given the option, and it'll be there forever. If you want to go into healing, we have the healing garden. You can grab triadic healing there. It's everything you need to start removing the conditional bullshit that they embedded into you, including the subliminal messaging garbage from Rome. That comes out too. If you have a religion, it leaves that intact. This is how it works. If it's authentically you, it stays with you. If it's not authentically you, if it was embedded in there from somebody else, it comes right out. I use the perspective psychology that I found inside of my brain, and I put it inside triadic healing. And then I found a way, I talked to a neuroscientist, and we basically found a way to use the brain's learning system naturally to logically, systematically pull out whatever isn't yours. So it's an egg separator. It's a big, giant personality egg separator, where it separates you from all the bullshit that's been put into you. Triadic healing is an egg separator. That's what it is. So that when we're done with triadic healing, it'll just be you. literally all of you, just you in all of your awesome glory. And all the bullshit that was crammed into your subconscious mind through violence and abuse, gone. Logical fallacy. Once you understand how to flip the switch, is one of the most gorgeous, sexy things in the world. So we get all of that together, and you're okay. By the way, it takes, I would say, 6 months max, and you're done. When you're done, you step out of the egg separator, and you have choice. Nothing is forced. 100% free choice. Do you want to stay? Do you want to go? Up to you. You're welcome to do whatever you want. No pressure. Absolutely none. If you want to toggle between both, you can do that too. There's no obligation. There's no requirements. So let's say you want to stay. These are your options. We have a playground. That's right, a playground. Because when you get out of triadic healing, you understand that the most important asset that we have, no matter what your age is our imagination, our creativity, and our fun and joy and ability to play. We have to play. So we have a playground for adults. And I do field trips for adults. And we play because we're supposed to. So the playground is one option. The second option is the community. The community is anything from just networking friends, networking heart families. These are all people who think the same way as you do, same mindset, same trauma, same everything. They come from all colors, races, gender, literally very diverse. The only thing you're not going to find here is anyone less than a sixth perspective. There's nothing wrong with the first through fifth perspectives. They just haven't grown up yet. That's all. We're not physically aging. There's a mental age to us as well. You're going to learn this in triadic healing. The mental age is your subconscious age. And because of the abuse we all suffered through, we all got stuck at age 2 or 3 of the mental growth stages. As a result, the world is run by a bunch of 3 and 4-year-olds. I'm really quite serious about that, which is why everyone behaves the way they do. When I am saying that your first, second, third, fourth, fifth perspective, those are actual subconscious mind ages. We are supposed to develop these skills before we are 8 years old. But the amount of abuse that's going around, afraid to speak, beaten for speaking, beaten for talking, beaten for interrupting, scolded, disapproval, rejection, avoidance, neglect, given to us just from communicating. We learn very quickly that we're not supposed to talk, which stunts our growth. And then when we show any kind of growth that surpasses our parents, they call us crazy. Sound familiar? That is called projection, because they feel insane and illogical because they are living insanely and illogically, and subconsciously they know it. So they project their own insanity onto us, people like us, telling us that we're crazy. And that is why. You're going to learn a lot about this in triadic healing. A lot of things will fall into perspective for you when you take triadic healing. So when you walk away from all of this, you can't make it through until you are sixth perspective, because they won't even have the ability to understand it yet. You have to grow up first. Fifth perspectives can kind of get it. Sixth perspectives can get it. Sixth perspectives, you're going to understand all of triadic healing. So when you are done, you step out and you're ready to advance to the seventh, eighth. In fact, when you are done, you will be at the seventh perspective. You will understand why the energy pulls at you. You will understand what exactly is going on with your brain, your hippocampus, and how it's being basically supercharged by the electromagnetic field in the planet. It's pretty cool. Which is why every time Mercury shifts just a little bit, you go, ah, that's why. Physics, psychology, and philosophy lay that out for you. So You have the ability to tap into a community who understands you, who will welcome you for who and what you are, and will celebrate, not tolerate, celebrate your differences with you. Now, I have jobs for you if you want them. The jobs that I am looking for are the following. I am looking for cultivators. These are parents, teachers, healers who are wanting or are needing to literally help get this information out there. There is the option to do an affiliate, to bring in your own business, your own ethical business, and plug it in so you can become an affiliate of the Healing Garden or Authenticity City. The other option is resources. Now, I do something here referred to as apprenticeships. And the reason why is because when you look at anthropology, early man, and early economics, apprenticeships were the most sensible, beautiful things that we've gotten away from. It allows you the extra help if you are a business owner, and you have the ability to provide someone with training on the job. Absolutely a beautiful skill building thing. It's a gorgeous bartering system for people who have no money to exchange. So the apprenticeship is one thing that we offer and strongly encourage. You have the ability to collaborate. You have the ability to join us on our Ship of State. The Ship of State is actually our alma mater, which means nourishing mother. Here we do not govern, because the fourth perspective, as you will learn in Triadic Healing, is self-government. So you don't need a government in Authenticity City, because the people can take care of themselves, because they have all the ethics and the tools required to function within Authenticity City. In addition to that, you learn accountability at the fifth perspective. So you know exactly what you do and what you need to hold yourself responsible for. Accountability. So nourishing mother is very much the center of Authenticity City, the Ship of State. And this is basically where we do world peace. We focus on world peace manifestation. And we talk about Operation Imagination, which is the round table, so that we can start pooling resources and voting on which topic to address in the world. So we have world peace, we have the round table, we have World Peace Manifestation Day. So those are all the options available at this time. I do have a networking group available for Authenticity City. If you have a business already that you're wanting to network and just build communications with, we have that resource available over on Facebook. I can give you that information shortly. So this is Authenticity City. We have the healing area with the Healing Garden. We have the playground with which to celebrate life, remember to play, emphasize on that, and nurture our mental health, because that's what play does. And we have the community where you can tap into resources, discover your own resources, and determine what it is you really want to do for a living. I have a lot more projects to break down under the community, but this is a good start to it. And then we have the alma mater, the Ship of State, where we talk about ways to structure the Healing Garden and Authenticity City, the way to cultivate it, get it out there, and start producing it. And it's all ready to go. It's all ready to go. If this is something that interests you, click on the link below. Take a look at Authenticity City. You can go through the entire directory and see exactly all the different ways. DM me. Let me know if you're interested in any of this. Comment below. Again, let me know if you want to get involved, which aspect you want. If you just want to come into the doors and say, thank God I'm here. I at least have mental shelter and don't have to wander anymore. And as far as triadic healing, if that's something you're interested in, I have 3 available resources for that. You can purchase the entire package in one lump sum. You can do weekly classes, weekly one-on-one sessions. That's part of my case studies. And then I have the DIY availability. The DIY is basically it's a group class with less one-on-one instruction and more weekly, here's the next project, and I walk you through it. If there's anything else I can do for you, thank you so much. Comment below, and may the kindest of words always find you.